Welcome to another episode of Hard Target Range. This is a special edition. We've got a guest that's going to shoot at the range with us. Fellow YouTuber Robin Jones is here, and she's brought her Ruger Security 9. So let's get shooting. I saw where that one went.
I went right to the left.
Yeah, I'll try to work the other one. Here we are up in the shop, and I see Jack left me a little grapefruit juice in my glass that the crazy Scotsman sent me. So why not? To the sunny slopes of long ago. That doesn't heat you up and cool you down all at the same time. Nothing like grapefruit juice on a Sunday morning. Let's talk about the firearm. I don't have it to show you because Robin brought it with her and we shot it, and then she left. She didn't leave it behind. I thought maybe she'd leave it behind for me, but she didn't. So we're going to look at some pictures here. Let's take a peek at them. And while we're looking at them, I'll talk about them a bit. These are the things I like about this firearm. A nice contoured slide. You'll notice the nose of the firearm is contoured, so it makes it easier to reholster. It's got adequate, not elaborate, but adequate serrations that work, both front and rear. One thing I really like is it had a metal mag release with a real spring in it versus one of those paperclip affairs. It had an actual spring and worked flawlessly. Those mags really dropped free nicely. The sights are adjustable for windage, both the front and back. The gun is the same size as a Glock 19, a very nice size for concealed carry, but it's a little bit smaller. You'll notice the grip. The grip is considerably smaller than a Glock 19, and I found the grip to be very nice, and the gun shot very nice. I did have a tendency to shoot a little to the left, but that might have been the ammo. It also might have been the fact that the trigger pull is just like a striker fired gun. It's almost an identical trigger pull, comes in about at 6 pounds, and it really has the same length of pull and feel when it hits the wall of a striker fired gun. And it does that because even though it's a hammer fired gun, the hammer is partially cocked when the slide comes back. That pretty much covers. Oh, one more thing I really did like about it, if you look at the bottom of the gun here, there's a little triangle there. That's actually an indentation. And so you run your thumb and finger on either side of it right there. It drops in quite a bit in that little triangle, and you have the ability to rip that magazine out if you should have a problem with it getting stuck in the gun. I really like that design, and the grip is very nice, small grip. You know, a lot of these guns like the Glock and the SIG P320, the grips are pretty good size to start with, and then they start putting panels you can add to them. And it starts getting a bit much, so people with smaller hands, even leaving the grip panels off, they still seem awful large. This is considerably smaller than a Glock would be without the grip panels on, I feel. All in all, I really like the gun. It performed flawlessly. No failures to feed, no failures to eject. It was an accurate firearm if I did my job, and really, really a nice shooter. Now let's talk about the things I don't like about the gun. We'll start out with the worst thing is the thumb safety. I really dislike this thumb safety. Again, it's like the Ruger EC9 I reviewed a couple weeks ago, where the thumb safety is like a 1911, except for it's pinned on the opposite end of the safety. So when you're pushing it up or pushing it down, you got to do it from the opposite side, you see. It works. That one, I was able to do it on that. I did comment that it was a little hard to put the safety on with my thumb, but I could do it. Taking the safety off was no problem at all. Well, this one is the spot it's positioned in. You really can't put the safety on with your thumb without changing your grip position. So you're left with either taking your hand off of the gun where it's sitting in the shooting position and moving it, or using your other hand to activate that safety, which is a real, I don't like that. That's a real downside to that safety. I wish it were set up like a 1911. Also, if you're carrying a 1911, you'd like it to be set up the same way. You can deploy it with your thumb fine, but you can't put it on with your thumb due to the place it's sitting in. So yeah, that I didn't like. The other thing I didn't like is the sights. The rear sight is like a Glock sight with the U-shaped deal, which I don't like. But irregardless of that, what I don't like about the sight is it's so much larger than it needs to be. It bumps way back, so you get a larger sight radius partially. But I think they're really doing it because they got a really big screw right in the center of it, so you can float it, loosen it, and float it. And yeah, I really think they could have done a better job on that rear sight. The third thing I really don't like about it is it's a budget gun, $300, and yet the magazines cost $33. And that's not the retail, guys. That's what you're going to have to pay for them. Street price $33, which is a lot for a $300 gun. All said and done, though, the gun shot exceptionally, and it's a Ruger. That being said, I'd really like to know what it will look like 5,000 rounds from now. I just got to shoot a brand new gun, and I'm telling you how it works now. I don't know what it's going to be like down the road. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see some results of it being out in the field and being used. But there you go. There's my feelings about the guns from my experience from shooting at that limited amount. Thanks for tuning in this week, and especially thanks since it was supposed to be up last week, but we had that storm here and everything got knocked out and I couldn't get it uploaded. So thanks for tuning in. Before I leave you, I'll leave you a little footage of us shooting that gun on that beautiful range down there, shooting at those beautiful AR-500 steel hard targets from HardTarget. Thanks for tuning in. Deer fly. That ends another episode of Hard Target Range. Thank you, Robin, for bringing up that Ruger Security 9. I really enjoyed shooting it. Till next time, guys, from Mr. Holster and Jack, go out and stay safe.